Parks in 5, brought to you by Talking Rocks Cavern. Explore the beauty above and below ground at Talking Rocks Cavern. The Springfield Greene County Park Board reminding you to go play. And Roto-Rooter Plumbing and Drain Service. Call Southwest Missouri's best plumber today for a free estimate. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Forhetz.
Here we are. It's Wednesday, midway through the week. And fascinating fact, we only have 2 Wednesdays left after this before Christmas.
It's crazy, isn't it? Coming up fast.
It's moving right along.
Here's some news. As gun violence becomes more of a problem in the Springfield area, the city and Greene County are coming together to try to end it. There was another shooting this past weekend in the mall parking lot. Community leader Francine Pratt is co-chairing the Gun Safety and Violence Collaborative and says instilling hope in our youth is key to curbing violence, as well as showing them opportunities for their future. Multiple leaders are taking part of this, such as the mayor, the police chief, the sheriff, and leaders from the NAACP and others. Meanwhile, Springfield Mayor Ken McClure is in his final stretch as mayor, and whoever is the next one might have a longer tenure or term in there. The council members right now are considering changing the city charter to allow the current 2-year mayoral term to be extended to 4 years. So we'll see. That's the same term as council members, by the way. Any changes to the city charter would require a vote of the people.
Interesting. The next education commissioner in the state of Missouri has been named. Republican State Senator Carla Esslinger from Wasola will take place and take that role in June. That's coming up in June. So she's been named, hasn't taken the role yet. Prior to serving over the Douglas, Howell, Ozark, Shannon, Stone, Taney, and Texas County District, she worked in education for more than 30 years as a teacher, principal, administrator, and superintendent. She was then assistant commissioner in Desi's Office of Educator Quality as well. So, a tenured career. Academics is the focus of the latest new conference in the Ozarks. The Greater Ozarks Conference includes 7 public and private schools: Billings, Crane, Greenwood Laboratory, Marion C. Early, New Covenant Academy, Pleasant Hope, and Spokane are all in the new conference. It was created to provide a unified structure for these schools to improve academic achievement, extracurricular activities, and professionalism. So it's like the 4th new conference shakeup that's been going on in the recent, just over the summer, I think.
Yeah, been several. Longtime Springfield staple is expanding. Bambino's Cafe, located in the Phelps Grove neighborhood, is getting a second story, a much bigger kitchen because they think they're going to need it, and more parking. So that's assuming all of the approval happens from planning and zoning, by the way. It sits in a residential neighborhood. So that's why they'll have to go to P&Z. It would be about a $700,000 project, hoping to start it this coming up spring.
And what famous thing happened at that very Bambino's?
You tell me, sir.
What do you mean? You don't know?
Yes, I know. What do you mean, do I know?
Okay, I was going to say, you're looking like you didn't know. You didn't remember. That was our first date. That's the first place that we went to have dinner as on a date by ourselves, right?
We went on a date to Bambino's. We ate dinner. Then we went to a Missouri State basketball game. We did. Ethan lost his Jeep.
I did.
We
just
parked
for a little while in the parking.
Went into the ball game, came back out, and he could not find it in the parking garage.
That's true.
Which is only funny because we've been married now for 16 years and he's never done that a single time ever again. And so I just think he was very flustered.
I was very flustered. Date. I was in the company of a beautiful lady, and I didn't have my wits together.
Anyway, I do love Bambino's. It's funny because we loved it so much, but we rarely go there. I don't know why.
Well, we don't go anywhere these days because we're busy running kids around. So
yes,
it has been a little while since we've been there, but we hope that they can add on and get this thing going. We'll be back.
Yeah, it's exciting. Mm-hmm. Okay, get this. The National Weather Service is changing the criteria for winter storm warnings. That means you could get more warnings issued for the Ozarks because they're lessening the criteria, if you will. They are dropping the snow threshold by an inch. So That means for most of Missouri, all of the Ozarks, a prediction of 5 inches of snow will make it eligible for a warning to go out. In the past, the criteria started at 6 inches of snow. As for Arkansas, the threshold will now be 4 inches of snow to let that warning go out. The amount for ice and sleet will be the same as it's always been.
Okay. That's interesting. I wonder what.
Fair enough. Good for them. Because honestly, 5 inches of snow, because we don't get a ton of snow anymore, is sizable, I think. Don't you?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I just don't like I don't want them crying wolf all the time.
But if they're predicting 5 inches of snow, to me, that is sizable enough that I would want a heads up. And I do pay attention when there's an actual warning. And that's about it. So
that's interesting. Here's something that people at home don't know about what went on at KY3 while I was there. That we did a snow pool. Every time there would be the prediction of Snowmageddon, I would go around and everybody plays for you pick the snow total to the nearest 1/10 of an inch and we would set a cutoff time as of this hour according to the National Weather Service. So I did all the research. After the snowstorm, whether it hit or not, I would call the National Weather Service and I would say, what is the total snow accumulation to the 10th of an inch as of this time? And they would tell me, and then I would go give all the dollars to whoever won our snow pool. And there were people who they do the same thing every time. They'd say a skiff, which I don't even know is an actual weather term, but they give me $1 and they'd say a skiff because they thought it was never going to happen. And they were pretty close a lot of the time. They were closer than most of the time. They were closer than the people who said the higher numbers.
Yeah. Anyway, Fun times. Good memories.
Fun. But I just had lunch with Ron yesterday, but Ron and the weather people would never take part. They would always pass, which I wasn't a fan of. I think if you're gonna say it on TV, let's put your money where your mouth is.
It's $1, and I wouldn't either. Maybe they don't want to gamble. You bad influence.
No, you wouldn't either. You did.
I don't even remember playing in the snow pool. I was at work at like 2:30 in the morning or something.
I know. You were never there, so I played for you.
What?
But you never won.
Well, that's your fault.
I'm pretty sure you didn't win. It's not like I kept the money or anything.
Own basketball bracket. Thank you very much.
That's what we did. We used to do snow pools, and I do miss that.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. Go.
Oh, Joplin is going to be asking taxpayers to voluntarily raise their property taxes to pay for a new home for the city's police and fire departments, as well as courts. Funding for the new Justice Center in downtown Joplin will be on the ballot for voters to decide in August of next year. So there's still plenty of time. But it's interesting, they're not doing it in November of next year, which is the big presidential election.
All right. 2 families, this is interesting, are suing Panera Bread Company, saying a drink killed their family member that they had ordered at the store. The drink in question is Panera's charged lemonade. Perhaps you've heard of it. It is very caffeinated. 2 people died after drinking it. One was a 21-year-old female college student with a heart condition who suffered 2 cardiac arrests and later died. The other was a 46-year-old man who had high blood pressure and a developmental delay who suffered cardiac arrest and died after drinking 3 of the charged lemonades. The lawsuits claim a large charged lemonade contains more caffeine than cans of Red Bull and Monster energy drinks combined and has almost 30 teaspoons of sugar.
Wow. That'll be, I don't even know what to think about that. I know that I'm concerned about even Monster, even those energy drinks. Well,
here is what you don't know. So don't quote me on the exact caffeine milliliters or however they measure it, because I don't have it right in front of me. But this is what I can tell you. On the morning show, speaking of, I had a friend who ran the camera and he drank so many of those Monster drinks during the course of the 4-hour show. And I was like, you are going to like pass out behind the camera. And so we looked it up, and they actually had less caffeine than the black coffee that I drink. Now, arguably, obviously, black coffee is better for you because it's natural. And there's a lot of other stuff added into the Monster drink. But technically, the black coffee still had more caffeine content than the Monster drink. Now, I was drinking a blonde roast. Yeah, I was drinking a blonde, which is the highest amount of caffeine. Yes, the lighter the roast, the higher the caffeine content. But he brought up a good point. You know what I mean? Because I was afraid for him for the caffeine, because it was just me and him in the studio. And I'm like, listen, if you go down on Red Bull, or not Red Bull, whatever it's called, Monster, whatever, energy, something, number 4. But sure enough,
you weren't
drinking more caffeine than him.
You weren't drinking 4 of those coffee cups, were you?
I mean, I had the taller mugs that we have, like the travel mugs. So yeah, I mean, that's like 16 or 20 ounces max. Okay.
If he's drinking 4 of those tall boy cans.
Yeah.
That's a lot more than you.
It's a lot. But anyway, it was just really interesting.
But your concern, or your surprise, was that one can had less caffeine than 1 cup of coffee.
Right.
1 large cup of coffee. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is surprising, actually.
So anyway.
All right.
I mean, it's been years at this point since I looked at the caffeine content, but we were like, oh, I stand corrected, although obviously black coffee doesn't have all the other stuff in it. I don't know what else is in it, but and Monster is not this, but it's in that same family, the energy drinks. And I don't know. It's interesting to me because of the, Panera has already added new verbiage to this charged lemonade, because this is not a new story. I mean, there's been an update in it, but it's not a new story. This was several months ago at this point, and they do have a warning now. So I don't know what that means, but something in the litigation world, I'm sure.
Okay. We know Patrick Mahomes is incredible on the field, and now he's being recognized for what he does off the field. Again this year, for the second year in a row, he is the Chiefs representative in the running for the Walter Payton Man of the Year award in the NFL. All 32 teams nominate who they believe is the best example of off-the-field community service contributions. And that award will be given out before the Super Bowl. So he does a lot of good stuff for the community. I know that. But he's up against 31 other guys like him who do a lot of good stuff for their community. So it'll be interesting. Who doesn't love milkshakes? There's nobody raising their hand right now. And that's good news, because Branson has a new place that specializes in milkshakes. The Yard Milkshake Bar is now open in Branson. It's located on West Main Street, just west of Highway 65, so up the hill from the landing. There are currently 27 locations in the United States. This is the only one in Missouri. So you have to go to Branson to go to the only Yard Milkshake Bar. It is known for its Instagrammable extreme milkshakes, ice cream, sundaes, and edible cookie dough.
Sounds pretty tasty. Right at my alley.
Is pretty decadent. They it's like a Hertz Donuts but with ice cream. All the stuff that they pile on the top. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty extreme.
And finally, if you need to then burn off the ice cream and the turkey trot wasn't enough for you, you can get ready for the Santa Run. It is happening this Saturday in Springfield. Every registered runner, this is fun, gets a 5-piece Santa suit to run in. You know the video, the ones of the Santa Clauses running down the street. It's a 5K Saturday morning, 8 a.m., starting at Jordan Valley Ice Park in downtown Springfield. Put on by my good friend Keaton Garrett with Heartland Racing Company. So it's always they put on good events. So that's fun. And then on Friday night, December 15th, there's another Christmas themed run as well. So that'll be fun as well.
Yeah, it looked like, I saw pictures online, and it looks like a lot of fun if you take out the running part of it. it looked like it'd be a blast. And
You
maybe
know
the
what? You
cold
can
weather.
walk if you would like
take
to
out
take part. I'm
you
sure
take
he
out
can
the
find you a Santa suit to walk in.
if you take out the running and the cold, that sounds like something I'd love. Honestly. Honestly, to celebrate the season.
All right.
And
Well, hey, don't forget.
Wouldn't wear a Santa suit. So
Really, you're not in on anything then?
well, everything except for those three things.
Yeah.
I think I'm good on. No, but it looks like a lot of fun. It looked like there was a good crowd there last year too.
Yeah, a couple hundred people in that one, and then closer to 500 people in the other Christmas time run. So it's fun. And Heartland Racing, our kids do triathlons with them all the time. So it's a good one. Also, don't forget the 12 Days of Christmas contest. It's at aroundtheozarks.com. Just go to Around the Ozarks, click on contest, and you can enter to win our 12 Days of Christmas. And there's lots of really cool gift cards and stuff that we're giving away. So check that out right now at aroundtheozarks.com. And I'll try to untie my tongue for the rest of the day. I'll see if I can work on that.
All right. Thanks for being with us this morning. We appreciate you listening and watching, and ask that you share with your friends, and meet us right back here tomorrow morning.
See you then.
6 and 5, brought to you by Talking Rocks Cavern. Explore the beauty above and below ground at Talking Rocks Cavern. The Springfield Greene County Park Board reminding you to go play, and Roto-Rooter Plumbing and Drain Service. Call Southwest Missouri's best plumber today for a free estimate. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Forhetz.
Good Thursday morning to you. Hope you're doing well this morning, up and at 'em, raring to go, or maybe you're in bed and you're going to go back to sleep after watching this. I don't blame you.
Yeah, I don't either.
I wish I could do that as well, but the ship has sailed for us. We're up.
Here's a look at the news. A 48-year-old man from Springfield will be locked up for 35 years for conspiracy to distribute large quantities of fentanyl and illegally possessing firearms. Jerry Wheeler was sentenced to 35 years without parole. He told police that he intended to distribute those deadly drugs in Christian and Greene counties. Authorities say that he was responsible for the fentanyl sold as heroin, actually. A woman who was bringing it to him to distribute got stopped on I-44 with a bunch of it. Sharon Loggins is from Florissant, Missouri. There are 14 total defendants to be sentenced in this case. All right, watch out for motorcyclists. There have been multiple fatalities in the city of Springfield alone. Police say most of them was when the motorcycle driver was driving recklessly. So far this year, 10 people have been killed in motorcycle crashes. And in all of last year, there were 6. Springfield officers say in all but 1 or 2 of the crashes from this year, the motorcycle driver was driving recklessly. Springfield police also don't chase motorcycles, even if they are weaving in and out of traffic or doing something, because they say it just puts a lot more other drivers at risk.
Meanwhile, Nixa is hoping citizens will weigh in on its future growth. The city is working on a 20-year comprehensive plan called Nixa 2045. And it's crazy to think about the year 2045. That seems...
I kind of hope that the world has wrapped up by then.
Well, it may.
Surely we're not all still going to be here, are we?
I don't know, but that's only 22 years away. It's crazy. Soon to be 21 years away. So it's coming, like it or not. It includes plans for new development, infrastructure, land use, transportation, education, parks and trails, development patterns, housing, and all the things that cities should be thinking about, and are things that are part of cities for sure. The goal is to finalize the overall plan this coming summer to be ready by 2025. You can make your voice heard through a survey on the city's website. And before too long, this is interesting, we'll see a new bridge along Sunshine Street over the railroad tracks near Scenic. Work will start in the spring. $6 million project will close Sunshine Street east of Scenic to Marion Avenue for about 4 months while they build this bridge. That's a long time because Sunshine gets a lot of traffic. About 26,000 cars cross that bridge every day. So that's 26,000 people finding a different route to and from work or wherever it is they're going. That's a lot. Let's see. The new Arena Football League team in Springfield, the Ozarks Lunkers, just signed their very first player, and he is from Springfield, which is
That's
cool.
exciting. I know. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, Matt Rush was a standout player at Hillcrest High School. Then he went on to play defensive back at Missouri State University, 2014 through 2018. So fairly recently. He's still in good shape, no doubt. The season kicks off for the Ozarks Lunkers, their inaugural season in June, which it'll be warm.
Yeah, we'll be out at the fairgrounds, which is going to be a really cool facility. I guess it's done now, but
the facility is done now.
Live in person yet? Yeah.
We got a brand new arena out there for this this football team, which is going to be just really cool.
In the new year, you will be able to contribute more money to your 401k if you'd like. The IRS says individuals can now contribute $23,000. That is up from $22,500 for 2023. They've made several other changes as well for both businesses and individuals in the year to come. You can check all of those out on the IRS's website. All right. Hard to believe that it is December 7th already. And this weekend is a busy weekend with all the things leading up to Christmas. Petra Ballet will be performing at Ozark High School on both Saturday and Sunday. They are doing their rendition of C.S. Lewis's Christmas in Narnia. That sounds really cool.
Yeah.
You can get tickets and more information at petraballet.com, Petra, petraballet.com. And if I were not going to be gone, I'd totally go because we are fans of Narnia.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, that'll be fun. That's if you need to be indoors. Now, if you want to be outside, you can go to the Springfield Christmas Parade happening at 2:00 on Saturday. It starts at the intersection of Elm and South Streets and will end right in front of the Springfield Expo Center. Now, to be honest with you, the weather could be dicey. So you need to watch Wake Up Weather with Abby because she can detail what it's going to be like at 2 because, yeah, the parade. I hope it doesn't rain on your parade.
Yeah, we've been in that parade several times, walking in it for KY3, and it could go either way. It could always go either way.
We've had years that were super nice, and we've had years that were terrible or
bitter cold,
freezing. Yes,
very cold. Yeah.
Anyway, yep. Check it out with Abby. See what's happening Saturday at 2. All right. And then this last event I added in because Ethan and I always find it to be a great time. We have a few weeks here, but the blue and gold brackets have been released for the tournament. So if you want to check it out, all of that starts on December 26th. The championships will be on December 29th. And it's all of the local high school basketball teams in the big tournament. And it's a great time, some good basketball. Yeah. And you can check out the brackets now. And all the games are going to be at Missouri State University, either at the Great Southern Bank Arena courts or the Hammonds Student Center. So depending on the time and the team, you can figure out where they're going to be.
I love everything about this because I love high school basketball. I've always loved high school basketball. It's so much fun. I love holiday tournaments. I love because growing up where I grew up, we always had the Christmas tournament, and that was the thing you looked forward to right after Christmas, leading up to the new year. So it takes me back, and I love high schools, and I love the rivalries of high schools. I love the support crowds for high schools. A lot of people grew up in the same town. They've been rooting on their team for 40 years, and it's fun. They wear the colors. I love to be part of it.
Yep. Blue and gold tournament coming up on December 26th through the 29th. So mark your calendars now, and the brackets were just released. So check it out. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. And we hope you have a super happy Thursday. Yes, even better. Happy Thursday, folks.
One day closer to Friday. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Scooters Coffee. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your Thursday. It's December 7th, and we are talking about temperatures today that are going to warm up into the 60s. It is going to be so far above average today with a high temperature in the mid-60s. Soak it up, enjoy, because things are going to change for us in a big way as we head a little bit closer to the weekend. We'll dive right into the forecast this morning. Temperatures are starting out in the upper 30s, above the freezing point everywhere, which is a nice change. You don't quite need the big coat today, but I would bring a windbreaker. It's going to be incredibly windy across the Ozarks. In fact, I think at times we could see wind gusts easily over 30 miles an hour. Highs, though, as a result of the strong south wind, will be boosted into the mid-60s today. Winds will gust over 30 miles an hour, closer to 40 at times. In fact, there could be wind gusts 35 to 40 miles per hour. The highest gusts will be west of Highway 65, so make sure if you haven't already secured your outdoor Christmas decorations, or if you're traveling today, be aware that the wind is going to be very strong. In fact, some of the strongest wind gusts are going to be out along the western border with Kansas. So that's where I'm expecting gusts could be close to 40 at times. It's just going to be a breezy day in the Ozarks, and I know that you'll notice those high wind gusts across the region. Warm and windy today, and then rain moves in midday tomorrow. I think it's going to be the afternoon hours that we start to see some rain and thunderstorm chances begin. Those rain chances do turn to thunderstorm chances overnight, Friday night into early Saturday. Am I expecting severe weather? Well, I think there could be a storm or two that get to be a bit on the strong side, but not severe weather per se. The chance for rain is going to be highest on Friday night into early Saturday. And then we've got another opportunity for some precip that happens on Saturday night into early Sunday as rain mixes with a few wet snowflakes. So it's something to be aware of as we get closer to the weekend, especially if you had plans to head outdoors. Rainfall accumulations, I think they will be highest up in our northern counties. That's probably where we see a half inch of rain at least. Amounts may be much lighter than that, less than a quarter of an inch possible south of I-44, which is okay. We had that big rain come around just last week, so we don't necessarily need more water at this point. We could mix in a few wet snowflakes, but at this point, I'm not seeing the chance for much in the way of accumulation in the Ozarks. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news for all of you snow lovers. The forecast for today, how about 63 degrees? It will be warm. We have no chance for rain today, but the wind will be the big story. I am expecting that we see rain chances return to the forecast on Friday afternoon, probably after lunch on Friday, definitely developing by the evening. And then some of that will have some thunderstorm activity with it embedded within the rainfall that happens through early Saturday. By Sunday, we're talking about a mix of cold, wet snowflakes. And then for Monday and Tuesday, the sun comes back out. But it's going to be kind of a rude awakening here with the temperature change because highs will fall back into the low 40s. That happens as early as Sunday. Around the country, what's making headlines? It's this record-breaking warmth that's ahead for not only the Midwest, but much of the central United States. Happening today and tomorrow, we'll be in the 60s here in the Ozarks, and there's going to be much of the country seeing temperatures well above average thanks to this big ridge of high pressure. Deadly flooding is also in the headlines around the country in the Pacific Northwest. In fact, landslides happening out in Oregon and Washington, creating just dangerous conditions and deadly conditions in some instances with river flooding. There's also been an Amtrak close up in the Pacific Northwest because of some of that heavy rainfall. And it looks like they get a little bit of a break for the end of the week, and then more rain is going to return to that area. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister question. This is the question that I left you with yesterday. What is the largest organ in the human body? Do you think it is A, the kidney, B, femur, C, skin, or D, brain? And the answer today is C, your skin. Not something you always consider an organ, but it's true. Skin is the largest organ in the human body. It is soft to allow movement, but it is still tough enough to resist breaking or tearing. It varies in texture and thickness from one part of the body to the next. And it does mean it is the largest organ in the body. Fun fact here, which organ is the second largest in the body? It's actually the liver. I did not know that until I started researching this trivia question for you. So C, skin, the answer for the brain twister question, but the liver is the second largest organ in the body. There's your water cooler information for the day. All right, here's the question that I'll leave you with for tomorrow. According to the classic phrase, what killed the cat? You know that phrase? Curiosity killed the cat? Do you think it's courage, care, curiosity, or caution? According to the classic phrase, what killed the cat? Let me know what you think. The options are A, courage, B, care, C, curiosity, or D, caution. Again, keyword here is classic. According to the classic phrase. Let me know your answer. You can submit those over at aroundtheozarks.com. While you're there, don't forget to enter the Around the Ozarks 12 Days of Christmas giveaways. Awesome prizes being given out every single day. You don't want to miss your chance to enter. You can also win a $20 gift card to Scooter's Coffee every single day just by getting this trivia question correct. So make sure you head on over to the website. Thank you so much for listening to Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather. I am meteorologist Abby Dyer, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a fantastic day. Enjoy the 60s, but hold on to your hat if you're heading outside.